Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Snipes and Stripes right here on NoFilter.net with my buddy Tim Peel in St. Louis, where it's golf season now. A little bit more better weather, no more hockey to follow, and just a lot of great hockey to watch. Peelsy, what's going on, pal? How
Hey, doing,
things?
buddy? I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. I'm excited about today's show. Hey, listen, before you get into thanking our sponsors, as our illustrious producer, Tim Smith, aka Bailey, has he done anything with Holiday Inn Express? Because we
I
need
hope so. I
we
hope
need
so.
we need Holiday Inn Express as a sponsor of the show. Because I've got first of all, I know, and you can talk about it in a second. You're going there this weekend or staying there, but I've got a perfect commercial. You and I are doing a commercial. You can say, Timmy, you made a lot of crappy calls during your career, but this call is by far the best one you ever made. It's
Right?
perfect.
That's
Perfect.
a great commercial right there.
Yeah.
And by the way, I can always say I stayed in Holiday Inn Express last night, and boy, I needed it because I'm a lot smarter today than I was yesterday. That's for sure. But yes, I go to San Francisco next week, and I am on the search for my Holiday Inn Express out by the San Francisco airport because, listen, one of the best beds of all time and great showers, and each shower has the bottles of the Dove, and Dove is that's what I use for my soap is Dove, and they have it right there, like it's in the shower. I mean, how great can you get? Way to go, Holiday Inn Express. I
Waiting.
know, and you're not even my sponsor, but maybe you can be because I'll stay there all the time. See, I'm not high maintenance. That's just I like good things. I like good beds. By the way, the sheets, and how they spare no expense for their sheets, man. They're no joke, no
Oh,
joke.
I'll have to look into that.
Anyway, so our sponsors, Whiskey in the Wild, whiskeyinthewild.com for the best chocolate orange whiskey of all time. Protected net guards, thanks to our good friend Tim Peel, making sure we keep every kid safe while they're playing to get the best sport on the planet. And Bet Online, if you want to make a lot of money, don't listen to my picks. Just go to Bet Online and pick your own because I've been terrible. And then our future sponsor is Holiday Inn Express. Thanks for the great sheets, thanks for the great shower, and thanks for the great coffee in the morning for free. Anyway, awesome. What's going on, man? What's a lot of fun going on in these playoffs? And I don't know where you want to start. I'll let you pick, but there's a lot of great topics we could talk about today.
Well, I think we need to talk about the first game tonight, and that's Toronto and Florida. Game 5 in Toronto. My brother's taking his son. I texted him a GIF earlier, and it was something about being nervous. And I'm like, "Are you nervous?" And he's like, "No, no, we got this." But I guarantee you, those Toronto fans are nervous right now.
Oh,
They have put a stop on building the parade route on Young Street. Okay,
yes.
I
There's nerves going all over because they know that tonight's game could be the pivotal game to decide who's going to win this series. Obviously, it's not over, but this goes a long way to seeing who's going to win this series.
do you know if I would pick any player that I think this is the biggest game of his career? Who would you say?
I mean, Austin Matthews for sure.
100%.
Not only that because of it's the biggest game I think of the season for this team, but he has been the one again that has been being criticized all over social media and in Toronto. You see these kids calling 911, having a missing persons report for number 34, Austin Matthews. I mean, it's rampant. Do they have a case? Is Austin Matthews underperforming and not doing the job that he's expected to and score goals?
Well, you know what? He's got 2 goals in 10 games, JR. We know players get banged up in the playoffs. We know they get banged up in the regular season. There's a few people saying he's not 100%. I'm not buying it. I think he is 100%. I just don't think he's getting the job done. And I have a ton of respect for Austin Matthews. You've said many times on our show that you think he'll go down as the greatest U.S. born goal scorer ever,
He
and
will.
and there might be a lot of truth to that. But guess what? You got to show up now, man. You got to show up. This
Yeah,
is your
playoffs is where really the storyline is written, right? Everybody can have great seasons and put great seasons together. It's when the chips are down. It's when you're not getting paid. When you're playing for pride, you're playing for the cup. That's really where your legacy lies. I know a lot of players that had phenomenal careers that literally playoffs was either non-existent or very minimal success.
They disappeared. They
Yeah,
disappeared.
or didn't even have the opportunity to play in the playoffs, which again taints your playoff
Oh, oh,
reputation.
oh, before we go on, because I'll forget about it. You talk about playing in the playoffs, and do you remember earlier this year I talked about Jeff Skinner playing in 1,000 games, the only player in the history of the NHL to play in 1,000 games and never play in a playoffs. He gets traded to Edmonton. We're thinking, okay, this is his year. This is his year. Guess how many games he's played in for the Oilers so far? One. One. He's now played in one playoff game. That's it.
And his team's in the second round.
And his team's in this. Is that unbelievable?
Is he just getting scratched?
Yeah, he's getting scratched. He's just not playing. They put Kapanen in last night or 2 nights ago over him. Some other guys. He's
It seems like the reputation's following him, right? It's
I hate to
it's
say it, but come on, man. You've played one game now. Anyway,
yeah, and again, that is going to follow him for the rest of his professional career. You know, opinion of him, right? His reputation.
I
Uh,
think I I
and let's get back to Matthews. I totally agree with you. Obviously, everybody expects Austin Matthews to score goals because that's what he does. He was our closest to a 70-goal scorer that we've had in years. Um, so the fact that he's not scoring is one thing, but I'm watching Austin Matthews do a lot more other things that are very important to the Toronto Maple Leafs team. His 200-foot game is pretty solid,
uh-huh.
he's killing penalties. He's doing things that most big time goal scorers don't do. You want to call him one of the better two-way players in the game? I think you can do that. He's
Yeah,
focusing on so many other things that I think he's really, whether his focus is on scoring goals or not, but I don't think he's paying attention to it as much as he should if he wants to score goals. Because to me, he's on the outside. I don't see him on the inside. I don't see him in the high traffic areas picking up rebounds, picking up some loose change, getting pucks going off of him. He's trying to score from the outside. You see
yep.
some of his shots are coming from the power play from the outside. He's not. He just doesn't seem to be generating any really good quality scoring opportunities because he's in that high traffic area inside the dots as we call. It's not for a lack of effort. I think he's working hard. I see him working hard. I see him burying his head and getting down to it. I think he's pushing a little too hard. I think he's gripping the stick a little bit too hard. I think he's looking for the perfect shot, the perfect opportunity when he just has to let it rip. He's got to shoot it from everywhere. We saw what happened last night when you shoot it from everywhere. And Granlund, the first goal against Hellebuck last night, which I thought was a
Well,
weak goal
we'll get
and
to
terrible
him.
goal to give up early.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a little bit too.
Yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. The problem is, as you know, in the playoffs, JR, you don't have as much time and space as you do in the regular season. Okay. And Bobrovsky is in the zone again. A shutout in game 3. Toronto cannot blame their goaltending. Joseph Woll, who I
Played
know,
great.
great game 3, had 35 saves. That game could have been 4 or 5-0.
Game four,
So,
he was even better.
so
That game four could have
he
been 7-8-0.
Yeah, he played up. That's why I think they're in serious trouble. That's why, and if Florida scores first tonight,
Oh,
oh my goodness, I think it's going to start seeping into their heads. Um,
that's the problem. Toronto is one of these teams that has just struggled to
they're
be.
fragile.
They've struggled to make that next step, to take that next step. Now, obviously, winning that first series, they haven't done that but once in 20 years. To do that again was big, but no one cares about winning one round. Now,
No,
no, now they're at an opportunity where they're playing the Stanley Cup champions. They know that they're in for a war because of what they just went through down in Florida, and especially the way the last game ended with Max hitting Barkov and Matthew starting to yell at and yap at Nylander, and just it's going to be interesting to
I
see
love that.
what kind of game comes out of this. Is Florida going to continue that, or are they just going to go right back into their usual playoff style mode where they're just going to play disciplined and in your face physical hockey and just grind you to the core.
Listen, Florida likes to bully people. They like to bully teams, and they're good at it. Like Aaron Ekblad, he got a 2-game suspension when he tried to rip off Hagel's head in the first round. They like to bully people, and they're successful at it.
And
And
everybody does it. Even Barkov's been doing it.
And I don't know if Toronto's got that in them to be that bully. And you sometimes have to be a bully in the Stanley Cup playoffs, JR, to have success. You can have the core four and you can have all this, but you got to have an edge, as you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think it was Toronto who kind of sparked it last game. The end, Max Domi went out, went crazy. Laughlin went, kind of got in there. There were some players that were getting pretty choppy and wanted to send a message at the end of game 4. Will that continue on to game 5, or are they going to get back to just trying to play a physical style of game, but play within themselves and literally raise to the occasion? Is Wall going to have another great game like he did the other day? He needs to, because I will tell you, all the pressure is on Toronto.
100%.
So the Panthers can come in. They don't have home ice, even though they are the Stanley Cup defending champions. They see a wounded dog, and
Yeah.
that team knows how to stomp on it. And if there's ever a team that has choked more in the last 5 years, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
So don't think that both teams aren't understanding the situation here.
Isn't that funny you said that? Because I completely agree with you when you said that Toronto is the one feeling the pressure, even though Florida's the defending Stanley Cup champions. And a lot of that has to do with the core four not making it out of the second round, not making it out of the first round for a long time, making it out of the second once. The core four, the core four. We keep hearing about the core four, and it's soon to be the core 3 or maybe core 2 because Tavares is an unrestricted free agent, and everyone knows Mitch Marner is too. And someone's going to give him they're going to back up the Brinks truck for Mitch Marner. So there's a lot of pressure on them, buddy. And if I was betting on that game, and I think I saw it earlier today, I think Florida's favored in that game. If you can imagine,
Would not surprise me. It'd be probably minus 105.
being the road game, the road team.
I would say they're both minus 105. I would have to say that I would not be surprised if that happened.
What did you think? I had it written down, so I'm glad you brought it up. What did you think of the Domi hit?
I thought it was Bush League,
Yeah,
actually. And I
yeah,
love Max. I love Max. I love everything about him. I love his compete. I love the way he plays the game. But you don't hit somebody from behind 2 feet from the boards, especially at the end of the game. I know if I was Max Domi, I'd want to start something, skate over there, let the horn blow, let him turn around, punch him in the face,
right.
start something after the game's over. But to hit Barkov from behind like that, luckily Barkov wasn't hurt.
I think if he's hurt, Max may get a game. I think if
Oh,
he,
100%. I'm surprised that Max didn't get a fine for a hit from behind like that.
right.
I mean, at least a fine on that. With what's been going on in the league so far this
You
playoffs.
know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I don't have a problem with player safety. You know what? I want to see guys being a little nasty. I want to see guys in the game. And if it crosses the line really, really bad, then George Peros and that team that he has will deal with it. They've got Ray Whitney and Damien in there. They got some good hockey people. But you know what? I'm okay with the fines right now. We want to see these guys play. We want to see the best players in the lineup. And I'm okay with some old school hockey right now and let them try to knock each other's head off their
I'm
shoulder.
with you,
Uh,
and that's why I think this is going to be a great game tonight because I think Chiefs going to have their team ready to play. In terms of the psyche aspect. But are you surprised that Tavares has played at such a high level, had such a good playoff so far? I mean, he's even though we know he's near the end of his career, he's giving people reason maybe to sign him in the offseason. I mean, he's been fantastic playing at a pace that I didn't think that Tavares could keep up with at this age.
yeah, I'm not surprised. just for the simple fact he is such a pro, JR. He is the same way in the regular
Yeah,
season.
I
He's
agree.
one of the most consistent players I've seen throughout a career. He just seems to bring it every game, every night,
Yeah.
playoffs included. He doesn't disappear. So no, I'm not surprised, and I'm happy for him. And somebody will definitely sign him. And I'm sure Brad Treliving would like to re-sign him in Toronto, but it'll be interesting to see. If not, if they do get beat out in 6 games, then obviously there's going to be some changes, and there needs to be because it's obviously not working. So
Yeah, speaking of changes, there's some crazy changes going on all over the league right now. Some of the coaching hires, the GM hires, some rumors of people snooping around some cities. Um, Although I hated having my buddy Rob Blake get fired, that was a sad day for me with the Kings. Kenny Holland stepping in there to take over the helm there. What an amazing hockey man to step into LA to try to help them get over the edge.
you know what? I had the pleasure of getting to know Kenny throughout my career. He was always kind with his time, generous, a humble man. And a couple summers ago, I had the pleasure of playing Oakland Hills with him, Stevie Eiserman, and Panger. And Kenny Holland's just one of the nicest men you'd ever
Pure
meet.
class, right? Pure
World
class.
class. I think he kind of got shafted in Edmonton. I think Jackson wanted to run his show, which is fine. But Kenny Holland's a smart hockey man. I think it's a brilliant move by Luc Robitaille and the ownership group in LA. As you mentioned, it sucks because Rob Blake is such a good person. Uh,
Amazing.
but from what I heard, things that I read, I think it was a mutual decision. I think Blakey actually was like, you know what, maybe you need.
Don't believe everything you read, buddy. Don't believe everything you read. And
Okay, we'll leave it.
I know Blakey didn't want to leave that, but he understands the business, right? He understands. Hey, listen, if you don't get out of the first round in 4 years, that's what happens. That's the those are
No,
the those are the wounds of hockey, right? And he understands that. Nobody knows the game or understands the game better than Blakey, and I just feel bad for him because I know how much he loves the game. And Luke probably hated doing it. I know Luke loves Rob also,
yep,
and that I think Luke's relationship with Kenny Holland because of his Detroit ties really made it pretty simple to bring Kenny in. So let's hope great things for the Kings. That's I think that's a very good hire. And just like Philadelphia, we talked about Philadelphia, what they're going to do. Obviously, I thought it was an obvious decision
me too.
getting Rick Tocchet to come be the head coach there. I mean, he is a Philly staple, and
They
a
love him.
totally different mentality. I know they had John Tortorella there, which was an old school hard style, but John Tortorella didn't play in the league.
Right.
Right now, you got Rick Tocchet, who has the same kind of style, but has a little bit different kind of approach, maybe a more player friendly
Yep.
style towards the players, understanding, but demands respect and demands the players to play a certain way. And I think this is going to be a really great hire, I think, for the Flyers.
I agree 100%. And you know what? I think we realized when Danny Briere became the GM, Jonesy became the president of the club. Two good people. They're building something there that I think is going to be good. They've got that great young player in Mishkov who got in a car accident the other day in Saudi Arabia. I think I read, and it sounds like he's
Really?
yeah, it sounds like he's okay. But now you've got Tocchet and Jonesy probably just love each other, right? And
Oh yes, very much so.
and it's a perfect fit. The fans love him. He's a tremendous coach, and I just think he didn't necessarily like the makeup that Patrick Alvin and Jim Rutherford had put together in Vancouver. I don't think he liked that they traded JT Miller instead of Elias Pettersson. I don't think an Elias Pettersson is Rick Tocchet's type of player. I think he probably thinks he's too soft and not
Mm-hmm.
consistent enough.
I'll
So
bet all the money I have on that one.
Yeah, so I think it's awesome. Good for talk. It sucks a little bit because I love listening to him on TNT too. He does such a great job,
Yeah,
and
he has such a good outlook on the game and the things that he says, and you know whether his delivery is great and how he gets it out, it's always really poignant and very sharp and very it's so right on point. You know, Talk is a he's a cool cat, man. There's no
wait,
question about it.
before we talk about anything else, we got to give a shout out to Biz Nasty because Biz is shitting his pants right now because he actually flew back to Welland, Ontario, where he grew up, and he's going to his favorite bar tonight. Where he said he became a Leaf fan as a kid, and so he literally flew back to his hometown in Welland, Ontario. And we've seen the
He's
video,
trying to bring all the mojo
we've
to the
seen
game.
all the videos and so on. And he hitched his wagon to Toronto. So if they lose, oh my! And what I loved the other day, because we love those guys over at Spit and Chicklets,
Yeah.
when Keith Yandel is beating the drum in Florida for Game 4, and they put a picture of Biz Nasty over the drum, so Yandel was hitting a picture of Biz Nasty. It was the funniest thing.
Oh, it was so good. It was
so,
so good. It was
so
so good.
he's gonna he'll it's gonna be fun. It'll be fun. This is gonna be a
Yeah,
fun,
I'm really looking forward to this game tonight. I
gonna be a
really am.
fun night. It's gonna be a fun night.
And you know the Dallas Stars.
Oh,
Are
one
they?
one last thing. Rodriguez is not playing tonight either. JR
By
from
the
that.
way, what did you think of that hit?
I thought it was dirty, but quite honestly, I don't
He
think it's.
didn't hit him in the head.
You say he didn't?
No,
No,
hit him right in the chest.
no.
Hit him right in the chest. Hit him right in the shoulder.
Exactly.
His
I think
his
I
head might have snapped back, but
I have no problem with the 2-minute penalty on that play. I'm surprised it really must have rattled Rodriguez, but he's a scratch for tonight. So uh,
that surprises me. That's two players. That's two players in this series that are now out of games. That are very suspect hits. You know, I've been hit 100 times harder than that. Now, again, I'm not here, you know, saying that Rodriguez is a pussy, but come on, come on. He
yeah,
didn't get hit that hard. Neither did Stolars. So it's a different world. It's a different game, and I I played with a broken jaw in the
I know,
playoffs.
I know,
Right.
no,
So you can't tell me that I'm hurt and I can't play. No. Mm-mm. No, can't. I'm sorry. And I think Rodriguez is a good little player. I have nothing against him, but
he's
you
great.
can't play because of after that hit. And by the way, he did go down and act. He should have got 2 minutes for acting and playing dead on the ice after that. I don't agree with it. I don't care. It's not my style of hockey. Um, that's just my opinion,
Yep,
and I won't change my mind because somebody says, "Oh, well, what if you got a separated shoulder?" Then get the f up and just skate off the ice. Then no need to. Did you break your leg?
right.
No, get off the ice. That laying on the ice like you just got shot.
You got up
And
when you broke. You got up
good
when
for the referees.
you.
Good for the referees by going and making looking and seeing that he didn't get hit in the head and that it was an interference penalty. There's no question it was
Yeah, it
interference.
was.
But no, no.
Um,
Toughen up, man. Toughen up, monkey. Let's
okay,
go.
what was the next game you wanted to talk about?
I just think the Dallas Stars just continue to impress the hell out of me. I think they're the best team in the playoffs right now. I know Florida's playing great, but look what they did to beat Colorado without Haskinen and Robertson in their lineup was unbelievable. Ottinger is playing great hockey. They're getting the contributions from everybody. Not to mention Rantanen is on a heater.
He's got 19 points.
Yeah, and he didn't score the first 3 games of the playoffs. So think about this, right?
Unbelievable,
And
right?
all of a sudden, he got 9 or 10 goals in 9 games,
Yeah,
10 games.
yeah.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, what he's doing in this playoffs season right now is ungodly.
Dallas is just a solid hockey club, and Miro Heiskanen, one of the best I think not underrated, but maybe doesn't get the accolades that some of the other defensemen get in the league. Miro Heiskanen is one of the best defensemen in the league. He
He's the
played
new Romaniosi.
his first game, exactly his first game back. He had an assist that adds to that lineup. They are just solid top to bottom,
Well
and
coached, man.
well
Very
coached
well
by Pete
coached.
DeBoer and Steve Spott. It's just a good hockey club. To me, Ottinger is going to be the starter for U.S. at the Olympics. We'll get into Hellebuck in a bit, but Ottinger just is solid every night. He's given Dallas a chance to win every game, and I'm kind of rooting for an Edmonton Toronto Stanley Cup final, but but
Would
I
that be sick?
I don't know if Edmonton can beat Dallas, but that if Edmonton wins tomorrow night or tonight, actually tonight, or tomorrow night, sorry, that would be Edmonton Dallas would be one hell of a Western Conference final, buddy. Hey,
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to call that. I mean, especially the way that Edmonton is just kind of running through Vegas right now. And I said this morning on the After the Whistle podcast. I I love Vegas. I love Jack Eichel, but boy, Jack Eichel got a very very um, um, quick indication of what defensemen see with Connor McDavid coming down on him. Did
yeah,
you see that overtime goal in Game 3?
yeah.
Eichel didn't even know where to, like, he took one step and Connor McDavid was past him and the puck was in the net before he even turned around and had his hair get blown by the McDavid wind. It was gone.
There is nobody better in the league when 97 is healthy, and because he really wasn't healthy a lot this season, he had a lot of injuries. But man, oh man, I don't know if he's 100% right now, but he is playing unbelievable. But
Him
we
and Draisaitl, literally, they're carrying this team, and it's nice to see Evander Kane chipped in a goal the other day and playing some good hockey. Obviously, Hyman's playing really good hockey. Um,
Keener's got 4 goals, 3 assists in 9 games.
I know it's
He
great.
has made a huge, huge impact on that team, and I loved the other night when Henrique scored. Henrique had 2 beautiful goals. The one that he kind of shot between his legs, but he scores and then he slides on his knees to the corner, and one of his line mates and one of the defensemen come over and they're hugging them. Well, they don't realize Kane just mowed over Aiden Hill, and now you see them all rushing to Kaner's defense because he's getting mugged in the corner by these guys. They were all over Aiden Hill, buddy. They were under his skin. Um,
Yeah,
who was it? Hyman took a penalty, which listen, not criticizing the refs at all, but Aiden Hill stuck out his leg. But in real time, it's easy in real time. I thought Hyman bumped into him. Then you show the replay, and Aiden Hill kicks out his leg a little bit, and Hyman you
goes
know
over it. Yeah.
falls down. So they were in his kitchen, and I think they know that. And um,
Well, they're just rolling right now. You know when a team gets on a heater, right?
mhm,
Edmonton's on a heater right now. They feel it. Um, McDavid and Draisaitl are dragging their players, dragging their teammates into this fight. I don't think we've seen really anything from Nugent Hopkins. He's done pretty much nothing.
right.
Um, the biggest goals have come from the top two guys, and literally these two are winning games. Just the two of them. How
And
long can that happen? How long can that keep going on? I think if it gets to Dallas, I don't think that works.
and they're doing it without their number one defenseman in Matthias Ekholm, who they
Who
said,
might come back? Who might come back if this series goes to 7?
yeah, either 7 or definitely the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
So, you know what? It's fun to watch. I got to be honest. I've got a Gretzky jersey signed down in the basement. I might have to get that out and wear it tonight because I think I'm on the Edmonton Oilers bandwagon right now. I think They're so much fun to watch. McDavid's and Draisaitl, I just can't get enough of watching them. And it's fun to watch. I think it's going to be a great night of hockey. But I gotta ask you, and I hate to shit on this guy, but man, the stats just suck. Is we're going back to that Dallas Winnipeg series. Connor Hellebuck's stats right now, Hellebuck is his save percentage is 884. It was as low as 817 at one point in the series against St. Louis. Is Scott Arniel, if they lose, is he going to get criticized by not playing Comrie and just saying, "Hey, Connor, I know you're probably going to win the Vezina," which, first of all, can you imagine when he wins the Vezina? Or some of them are saying he could win the Hart too. That would be embarrassing to pick up those trophies after the postseason that he's had. I'm sorry to say, but it would be. It'd be uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, I mean they got through the first round, but it was no thanks to him.
No, he got pulled 3 out of the 6 games.
Yeah, and he's got just under a 4 goals against average, which is like that's crazy.
You think?
And
You
and
think?
I think now you got the battle of the two U.S. goaltenders, Ottinger versus him. Ottinger has a I think he's got a bone to pick. Who's the better goaltender in American hockey? So and you're seeing it right now. That first goal last night we talked about. I mean I know it was a shot off the foot, but no way does Hellebuck should miss that to
No,
start a game.
no
Uh,
way.
it's just such a mental deflator, right? To see that go in. And this is what I truly believe. I think Hellebuck needs glasses. I really don't think he picks the puck up very well. How many goals has Hellebuck missed up high, especially glove? Like he literally misses the puck by
Yeah, he
over
does.
a foot.
He does.
And that's his weak point. Like, look at the goals that have been most. I bet you 90% of the goals that have been scored on Hellebuck have been above the shoulders,
High,
right? High glove, high glove.
high
Look at
glove.
the goal that Connor McDavid beat him in the Four Nations, high glove. The one that Sam Bennett scored in the Four Nations, high shoulder. Connor Hellebuck goes to the ice so fast and cannot cover the upper net. And when he can't cover the upper net, and then he can't get his arm up fast enough, he leaves
Correct.
he leaves a hole, massive hole for these guys to shoot at, and he's getting burned bad.
E- even if they win game 5, which is in Winnipeg, game 6 is back in Dallas. Connor Hellebuck is 3, 4, 5. They've played 5 road games now, 3 against the Blues and 2 in Dallas. He is 0-5 on the road. He has not won a road game for the Winnipeg Jets. Now think about that. How are you gonna move on to the next round when your goalie can't win one game on the road, buddy?
Yeah, I know.
That's I just
It's
don't see
tough.
how you do it.
Listen,
I
this
don't see it.
no, and you can't move on and win Stanley Cups without having a hot goaltender. There's
You
no
can't.
question about it. No question about it. And
Yeah.
I worry about it. But talk about hot goaltenders and a good team that nobody's giving them any credit. Carolina just keeps just rolling along, rolling along. No
Who?
supers.
Who?
Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah,
I sound
exactly.
like
Who?
I sound like
Who?
an owl. Who? Who?
Who? Exactly. Right? It's like this team just
Uh,
they just la di da, la di da. Let's go through our business. Let's just go play a boring hockey game. Play really strong defensively. Just kill penalties. To be good on the power play. Some of our guys will show up. Shows up. Svechnikov shows up. Um, I think they got the best defenseman in Jacob Slavin, the best defensive defenseman in the National Hockey League in Jacob Slavin. And you got a healthy Anderson that's playing some damn good hockey right now. And you have a coach that probably is the most underrated coach in the game, without a question, Rob Brindamore, and how he has this team prepared. They've lost, listen to this, in the last year, they have lost Genzel, Nakash,
nature.
and
Yep, nature.
Natchez, and Rantanen.
Right.
Think of and you know who they got back? What's his name? Stackwell. What's his name?
Thank Woven.
Stankoven. Right?
Yeah.
Like, come on. That's what they got. And then they still go out there and play the game the right way and keep winning hockey games as a team. Like 4 lines roll over, and they play such a boring style of game. They remind me of the New Jersey Devils of the '90s.
I was just gonna say that. That's exactly what they remind me of as New Jersey. And when they're on, and I'm sorry, like I love Brett Burns and Seth Jarvis and Brindamore and Stahl and these guys. But when their game's on, buddy, I'm checking it on my phone. I can't sit there and watch a whole game.
No, I
I
can't.
can't. I can't. Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch the whole game tonight.
it's an anticlimactic series, even though Alex Ovechkin is playing in the series. It's to me, it's just it negates the series for me.
Yeah, it
I
sucks.
know.
It's
Listen, I hate to talk bad about playoffs matchups and series, but that's a tough one to watch. And you know what? I think Carolina likes it that way. They just
they
want to just
do.
they want to just roll along, just keep winning hockey games. By the way, you mentioned Jarvis. What an awesome hockey player this kid is.
Yeah, he's incredible. I love
Wow.
watching.
You take the size aspect of his size and watch the way that he plays. He plays like a giant.
Yeah, yeah.
God, I love watching this
He's a
kid play.
hockey player. He's a
He
hockey.
is a hockey player
Yeah,
through and through.
yeah,
Reminds me of like a more talented, better goal scorer Gallagher,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, which you
Exactly,
gotta love. Yeah,
exactly.
a lot of fun to watch, man.
You know what? It's I expected. I got to be honest. I expected more out of Washington. I expected more out of Washington. I'm a little.
Well, do you expect more out of Washington, or is Carolina just one of those most frustrating teams to play against? They lock up the defensive zone better than any team. They're not allowing Ovechkin to have any space. They're not allowing Strome to get any kind of room to maneuver to make his plays, and they're just literally boring the hell out of the Washington Capitals. And it's almost like it's not. Is it the Capitals' fault? More than it's how Carolina plays that is just negating anything that they can do.
It's a bit of everything. Like the last 2 games, Washington said 21 shots and 18 shots. They had actually 18 in a game that they won 3-1, but they're just not getting a lot of shots on net. It's is
Okay,
that
now they're pressing. Now they're trying to find the perfect shot, right? See, this is where you just have to get everything. You have to funnel that puck to the net. We've seen all the different bounces that has happened in the playoffs. Some of the crazy goals. I mean, the Winnipeg Jets are in the playoffs in the second round because of crazy bounces. So Washington's just got to keep it simple. Just get pucks to the net and crash the net. That's the only way they're going to
do
beat Anderson.
it's easy to say how they beat Montreal in 5 games, okay? But I watched those games and Logan Thompson stole a couple for them. I thought Montreal played
Yeah,
incredible.
couple close games.
They were close games. They didn't run away with that series. Did a lot of that chasing Ovi's record down the last couple months? Did that take a lot of emotion out of them and they just
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they're, I think they're playing the way I expect them to play in the playoffs right now. It's, I think to me they were the surprise team of the league.
yeah.
I think they had a better year than anybody would actually have guessed, or that we would have given them credit for. And I think now is a different season. And you're playing the best of the best all the time. And now they're playing a team that is just so well coached.
Mhm.
Washington's well coached too, but I don't think I don't think there's a team, maybe besides the Dallas Stars, that have everybody bought in. Well, maybe the Florida Panthers too, bought in to a style and a mentality, and maybe a what's the word in the locker room, a an atmosphere.
Lottery or
Yeah, there's just the atmosphere, just the mentality.
yeah.
You know, um, they everybody's bought in Carolina.
You
There's
mentioned
there's
you
no
mentioned
superstars there. No
no, there's not.
superstars.
No, there's not. And you mentioned Freddie Anderson playing well, but you know what, Jer? He's one groin pull away or something from being out of the
It's
rest.
he's definitely injury prone. There's no question about it, and that could be the difference in whether Carolina moves on to the finals or
he gets hurt a lot. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if there's a goaltending change at some point in time. If Carolina, it looks like they're going to get out of the second round unless Washington really turns it around. But there might be a goaltending change at some point because Freddie Anderson is notoriously hurt. So hopefully he doesn't. We don't want anybody
I
to.
hope he doesn't. He's a good friend, and I'm a big fan. And I hope great things for Freddie because he's good people, man. He's really and he works hard. I know he's been very frustrated over the last couple of years because of injury, and I want him to stay healthy.
Hey, we got to touch on two coaches. We know that Tocchet got hired today in Philly. Adam Foote also got hired in Vancouver. He was Talk's assistant in Vancouver. And I read a quote by Quinn Hughes, and Quinn Hughes said that Adam Foote is the best coach that he's ever had. So there you go.
Wow,
I'm happy for Footer because Footer is a hockey guy.
gotta love him.
And I can remember roughing a game with him in Colorado one night, and we're going up the ice, and he's at mother effing me, I'm mother effing him, literally for 45 seconds. We are just going at it. And he comes back out the next shift, taps me on the ass. He goes, "Are we good?" I go, "Yep, we're good." But he was a warrior, man. He was a warrior. He played
There's not many Warriors who played the game like Adam Foote, man.
no
I
way.
I battled him
Oh
tooth and
my
nail
God.
many times. Yeah,
Unbelievable. I can imagine those battles because he was a good player. So I'm happy for him. You know, as
yeah,
an
me
assistant
too.
coach, great guy, and I wish him all the best. But we haven't talked about it yet, and I think social media has actually been pretty good about it. I talked to him on Saturday. I gave him a call. Was Joel Quenneville getting back in the game in Anaheim? Personally, I think it's very well, I don't want to say deserved, but I think he deserves a second chance. Uh, Joel Quenneville's a good man. I've known him for 23, 24 years. Every player that's ever played for him loves Joel Quenneville. Um, I know Pat Verbeek phoned Kyle Beach and said, "This is what we would like to do. Do we have your blessing?" Kyle Beach says, "Yes, 100% you do." So I'm happy for Joel. I'm happy he's back in the game. And you know what? I think it's a perfect place for him.
It's a perfect place.
It's out of the media. It's a good young team.
Good young team. His forte is coaching young teams.
Exactly. Look
Yeah.
what he did with Chicago back in the days with the young Kane and Tays and those guys.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I don't think he should have ever left. I don't think he should have ever left. I think his career, was awesome. He won cups. You're gonna hold somebody like him accountable for something that what he didn't do, but yet his involvement still nobody really knows. Um, I just think Joel has been the model of excellence. He's been class act, and he belongs in the National Hockey League. I'm glad he's back, and I'm glad he's back out here in the West. I think he's gonna enjoy it in Orange County. I texted him the other day, said, "Welcome to the warmth. You're gonna love
Yeah,
living here."
yeah.
Um,
He told me that you
yeah,
texted.
just make sure the team doesn't play like Mickey and Goofy, and you're gonna be good. Right? It's awesome. Yeah,
So no,
yeah,
what good kudos to Pat Verbeek for having the jam to do it too, and I'm excited for him. And he was asking me about who do you think I should get for assistant coaches, and I was throwing some names around, and he's like, "Yeah, that guy's good." Like Joel loves taking. Finally, I go, "Joel, I got to go." Bronson's playing a lacrosse game. I go, "I got to go." Like he just loves hockey. He loves it. He's
yeah, it
missed.
does.
And
Yeah,
one of the things, one last thing about that, he said to me because I said, "How's Boo and the kids?" His wife Boo, they call her Boo, and the kids. He goes, "Peelsy, that's what I'm most happy about." He goes, "They are so happy because all they've been reading is the shit for 3 or 4 or 5 years," and he goes, "I'm more happy for them than I am myself," and so
yeah.
that was
Last guy.
yeah, that was good to hear. So.
Yeah, do you think Lou Lamoriello would be good in Buffalo?
I don't know. Lou, first of all, I think he's
He's
81,
snooping around Buffalo. He was in the airport.
82.
We
I
saw
saw that
pictures of
picture of
him.
him at the airport in Buffalo. I don't know if necessarily he wants to be the GM, but I would certainly bring him in there as a consultant to Kevin Adams.
Yeah, I don't think he would be a GM either. I don't think he wants. I don't think he would want to be it. But a consultant. Imagine having a Lou Lamoriello consultant.
It's a
As
no,
if
it's
you're
a
at.
no-brainer, right?
I call him Patch Adams. I call him Patch.
Why?
So from the movie Patch
Well,
Adams.
you talk Kevin Adams,
Yeah,
Pat.
Kevin Adams. Patch. Yeah.
I think I think Lou would be perfect. That's another guy like he gets heat about the no facial hair and so on. But do you know, like, Lou Lamoriello is a really, really good person.
Oh,
And
amazing.
Lou Lamoriello reached out to me when I was released
He's
and
class upon class
wanted to
upon
know if there
class.
was anything he could do. I've texted Lou over the years. Hey Lou, can you help me out in this? I'm trying to do this. Or hey Lou, do you have so and so's number? Gets back to me all the time. Just a really, think a lot of people are intimidated, including me. I'm still intimidated by the guy because he just has that presence about him. But he's a tremendous human being, and I love Lou, and he would be a great attribute for Kevin Adams to lean on. How could you not lean on him and
Yeah,
get advice, right?
yeah, no question. I've known Lou since I was 7, 8 years old. So when he was at Providence, I went to Providence Hockey School, and he was my my dorm and coach.
Really, eh?
Yeah, he was my coach and dorm professor there when I went
Does
to.
Lou play?
He played. I don't know if he. I don't know how far he got. He played college,
You
but
did play college?
yeah. Um, I mean, there's no better guy representing um, the game than Lou. I mean, I I hear he's just lived in a hotel for like 4 years, and he just remodeled 2 hotel rooms in Newark in New Jersey and just lived there. It's close to the rink. It
He's
was great, you
he's
know.
like he's literally, him and Scotty Bowman are two peas in the pod, because whenever I'd work in Tampa, I'd see Scotty there, and he doesn't look like he's aged at all. These guys just love hockey. It's their life. And you wonder,
Yeah,
why don't you retire? Well, because that's what they love to do. That's what they love,
yeah.
being on the game.
You don't have to run the show, but if you can give your opinion and stay close to the show, why wouldn't you do that all the way till you're done? I mean, it's great, right?
Exactly. Hey, the referees have taken a lot of heat over the playoffs, and I get beat up on Twitter for
For what? What are they getting heat on?
just if a team loses, of course it's the refs' fault and so on.
I think the refs have been really good this
Well, you know
playoffs.
what? Hey, Smitty, make sure you clip that JR said that the refs are good, okay? Because we need to put that on social media so the
Yeah,
refs.
I do. I think they've done a great job. I think they've let teams play. I think they've made calls in overtime that are penalties, and
Exactly, 100%.
they're I think they're letting the players play. I think they're making good calls. I think they're making sure that they go to the replays at the right time and make sure they get the calls right. Are they going to miss calls? Of course they're going to miss some calls, right?
100%.
I mean, you need to have human error in the game. Let the human error happen. But
Thank you. I love that. I said that the other day on a podcast. I said human error is good. Players make mistakes. Coaches make mistakes. Refs. That's what brings animosity in our game. That's when the shit's hitting the fan and things are just, it seems like it's out of control. That's okay. We
yeah,
don't want to. We don't want a sterile environment where everything is perfect. Okay, because that doesn't
nope.
make for exciting hockey. But I wanted to ask you, because Mason Marchment, who's a tremendous player for Dallas, he has, I guess, a bit of a reputation, as maybe embellishing calls and so on. And there were a couple plays the other night that I thought he did embellish, and I thought the officials used good judgment in not calling. And Graham Skilleter, number 24, was skating through the neutral zone, and Marchment skated by and tapped him on the shin pads, like, whacked him, not hard, but he touched him. And there's been a lot of people, and smart hockey people, that have said they thought Mason Marchment should have been suspended.
Hmm.
But what happens is, to our listeners, so they know, the NHL will always ask the official, what do you, because the crime has been committed on them or the foul has been committed on them, what do you think? Do you think it was egregious? Are you okay with it? Because the league will always back up the officials. There's been
Always.
many players over the years that have been suspended for hitting an official on purpose or slashing them and so on. And I give Graham Skilleter a lot of credit because he's like, hey, it wasn't a big deal. It really isn't a big deal. But because it doesn't happen that often, now, on the other hand, people are like, well, if you let that go, what happens the next time when it's a little worse? Like, so I get both sides of it, but I wanted to give a shout out to Graham Skilleter because I thought he handled it
I think they've
well.
been great. I think
Because
they've been really good.
guess what, Chair? He didn't make the story about himself. No one's talking about that story anymore. But if Marchman had been suspended, oh, the referees are too sensitive. They've got thin skin. Like, you can't win really. But I thought
Yeah.
Skilleter and the NHL Referees Association handled it very well. So, Smitty, clip that too. Put that out there. That's a good one.
I love it. Well, listen, I can't wait. So give last thing. Okay, I think Edmonton's going to clean this series up. I think Dallas is going to clean the series up. I think Carolina cleans the series up. Who wins? Florida, Toronto.
I think Florida, bud. I think
Yeah,
Florida.
I gotta agree with you.
I
I gotta
think
agree with you.
Florida. I think they bully themselves on to the next round. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense at all, but they are mean. They know what it takes to win. And then
And
when you add that little rat number 63, Fred,
listen, that's to
I'm
me, that is the game changer. You have a guy who has thrived in his
100%.
playoff life of being a Toronto killer,
Yeah.
and Marchand now is on Florida, getting ready to be another Toronto killer. Couldn't ask for a better player to watch in doing that. So I agree with you. I think Florida is poised and ready to take really put a stamp on this series
Oh,
tonight.
I think we're going to see Edmonton, Florida Stanley Cup final. That's going to be a
Oh, a lot of flying
lot of
again.
flying
Rematch.
for Big
Yeah.
Wolf, but that'll
Rematch of last year. I would not doubt it in a second. So, but good stuff this week, PLZ.
you
Awesome
too, buddy.
feedback and great takes. Thanks to Whiskey in the Wild and for protected neck guards and Bet Online and for my future, our future hotel, Holiday Inn Express. We appreciate all the support. Give me my bed. Give me my Dove soap. See you next week.
Exactly.
Give me
Love
my.
you,
We'll
buddy.
see you next week right
See you.
here on nofilter.net for Snipes and Stripes. See you, boy.
Bye.
Love you.